Hello, welcome back to JC's Learning Edge. I'm so glad that you all are here for our Friday deep dive, and we're going to continue on this topic of your brain lies to you. But today, I'm going to talk about how to reprogram your mind, for growth, discipline, and success. And on Wednesday, I realized I told you all something that could catch you off guard. That your brain isn't built for success, but it's built for safety. And when a mind is designed for safety, it will create hesitation, excuses, and second guessing, even when you're trying to do something positive for your life. See, most people don't fail because they're lazy. That's a misconception. Now, some do, but most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they've unknowingly been trusting thoughts that were never meant to guide them forward. So today we're breaking this all the way down. And by the end of this session, you'll understand why your mind reacts the way that it does. And more importantly, how to take control of it so it starts working for you instead of against you. And that leads me to my first point. Your brain protects patterns, not potential. One of the biggest breakthroughs you can have is realizing that your brain isn't defending your potential, it's defending your patterns. It's trying to keep you in the routines and behaviors you've repeated the most because those feel familiar. And familiar, man, I'm tripping. Familiar equals safety. And like we said, our brain prefers comfort and safety. And because of that, your brain will fight anything that looks new or that looks difficult, uncertain, or different, even if it's good for you. Think about how you suddenly feel tired right when you're about to start your work, or how you suddenly remember things you need to do the moment you sit down to focus. That's not a coincidence. That's your brain pulling you back to what feels comfortable. But here's the reality: your future doesn't exist in your comfort zone. We talked about this. Your future shows up in the unknown, in the unfamiliar, and in the new actions you haven't, taken yet. So every time you push toward growth, your brain will send signals that feel like warnings, but they're just discomfort disguised as danger. Recognize it for what it is, and you take back control. And that leads me to my second point. Hesitation is a habit, not a warning. A lot of people interpret hesitation as a sign that they aren't ready, but in reality, hesitation is just a practiced response. You've repeated it so many times that your brain fires it automatically. When something feels big, your brain says, wait. When something feels challenging, your brain says, hold on, let's take a pause. When something feels uncertain, your brain, slows you down because slowing down has become the habit. But here's the turning point. You don't break hesitation with more motivation. You break it with movement. The moment you take action, even if it's just a small step, you interrupt the pattern. You send a new message to your brain that this is who I am now and this is what I do. And as you continue to do that, you continue to build that momentum, that hesitation starts to fade. And that's how, confidence is built, not by eliminating fear, but by proving, to yourself that you can move while fear is present. That single shift is how people change their identity. You don't wait to feel ready, you act and the feeling catches up eventually. And that leads me to my third point. You must lead your brain and not follow it. Your brain is a tool. That's what it is. And it's a great tool. It's the most powerful tool in the body. It's a tool, but it's not a leader. When you follow your thoughts, you stay the same. When you lead your thoughts, you grow. Too many people wait until they feel motivated, inspired, confident, or in the right headspace before they take action. And I've been guilty of this. But your feelings aren't the green light, your decisions are. The truth is, your thoughts respond to your actions. When you take action, your mind begins to adjust to the new identity you're building. And when you move first, your brain eventually follows your lead. And, leading your brain, for example, sounds like this: I know this feels uncomfortable, but we're still going to do it. I know this feels new, but we're still going to move forward. I know hesitation showed up, but hesitation doesn't get the final decision today. I do. And when you adopt that mindset, you stop operating from the person you've always been and start becoming the person you're trying to be. And if you want to learn how to take control of your habits, your discipline and the way you approach your goals. My book, Graduate in Half the Time: The Secrets of Self-Paced Learning, breaks down the exact mindset shifts and strategies I use to accelerate my progress in school, but in life. As I said, this book is truly for anyone with a goal. And it's available now on Amazon in both ebook and paperback version. Now, here's what I want you to remember: your brain is not your barrier, it's simply following the rules you've taught it. I'm going to say that again. Your brain is not your barrier, it's simply following the rules you've taught it. When you change the rules, you change your results. So here's your challenge for next week, and for the rest of this week going into next week. Every single time hesitation shows up, take one small action anyway. Not a big action, just one move that signals to your mind that the old pattern is over. It could be opening the laptop, reading one page, starting your workout, writing the first sentence, or taking the first step on something you've been putting off for so long. And every time you do this, you're teaching your brain a new way of life, a new pattern, and a new identity. By next Friday, you'll feel different, not because life magically changed, but because you took control of the driver's seat. So lead your mind, lead your actions, and lead your life. And as always, success doesn't shout, it shows up. And I'll see you next week. Bye bye.